Good afternoon, Jai Hind to all my loving children. Welcome to my virtual class. I'm your Tulika ma'am and I'll be teaching you English literature today. Children, before I start my class, I just want to ask you, are you compiling your notebooks? I want all your notebooks, your language literature and your B notebooks to be completed. Any day, your school may ask for all those notebooks as we will be giving 5 marks from the internal assessment from your notebooks. For the internal assessment, we will be giving marks from your notebooks, children. So all your notebooks should be completed. Now, children, today I'm going to teach you a poem, and name of the poem is Amanda. I'm sure rather you would all like the poem. You know why? Because you could be relating your stories with Amanda. But last year also, when we started with this language literature course, when I came to teach this poem, I was a bit disturbed, Why I'm telling you? Because in this poem, we would see the child is demanding for her personal freedom, which she feels that she is deprived of. But on the other hand, I want to say, I just wanted to create a balance saying that both, first I want to say that when we see a tall tree standing, a healthy tree standing, we say that it is well nurtured, isn't it? The hands who was taking care of this tree has nurtured well. We tell this, isn't it? In the same way, when we see a disciplined, a well motivated, success is not only your marks. Success is how very good human being you are, how much you are attaining your duties, how very successful you are in attaining your duties, in achieving your goals. So when we see all this together, all these elements together in a child, we see, wow, the child is well disciplined. And when we say well disciplined, now if the child is appreciated 60%, 40% is appreciation goes for the parents and the teachers. Yes, teachers are also responsible. Teachers are also responsible as more your parents. So children, while teaching this poem before, I just want to start with this, that if your parents, if your teachers are asking you or they are stopping you to do something which you are doing, they are stopping you to do that as because those are not good for you. That doesn't mean that your teachers or your parents are pulling off all the freedom from you people. No, children. They love you. They love you too much. That is why always they are just behind you saying, do this and don't do that. They're not your enemies, children. Many of you, when I was also a child, I used to feel, मेरे मम्मी बहुत मुझे डांटती है, हर बात पे मुझे रोकती है, नानी के घर जाने नहीं देती है. मुझे ये लगता था कि मेरी माँ तो मुझे मानती ही नहीं है. But when I became a mother, I could understand, no, she loved me the most. She and so are your mothers, so are your fathers, so are your teachers, so are your parents. They love you too much, children. And for that thing, they just want you to be perfect. They want you to be the perfect. And they want that their precious child should not be knocked by others. Their precious child should not be knocked by others. For that very reason, they scold you. Not because that they don't love you. Yes, they do love you. You are the most precious thing for them. So never, never misunderstand your parents, right? Which it's very general in this childhood period. Childhood, I know you people are not that mature to judge, isn't it? So you feel that हाँ मम्मा दिन भर डांटती है मुझे बिल्कुल मुझे नहीं मानती है ऐसी बात नहीं है बेटा right but there are some parents we teachers also we need to learn that too much of nagging too much of interfering may spoil the freedom of the child. We should. So everything should be balanced. See, I also scold you people, isn't it? I scold my child also. I scold him very much, children, as I scold you. But at times, I have to give you some space also. Space to express yourself so that you would express your own feeling to me. Or you will be a bit friendly with me. No, ma'am, today we have not studied. We are not ready. I'll scold you. Then I'll become a friend with you. So this is what that we teachers, we should scold you. We should nag. But that should not be always, always, always. It should be balanced. Too much of everything can spoil a thing. There should be a balance. The teachers and the parents should also be balanced while nurturing a child. We should not nag much. We should stop you. We should scold you. We should guide you, but not always. What? Not always nag. That may spoil the space which you want to enjoy. That may spoil the space or the freedom which you call, which I don't call it as a freedom, I call it as a space, which you may lose it. So, we should keep this in mind. We mothers, we parents, we teachers should always keep in mind. And you as kids, what you should keep in your mind? That your parents and your teachers are not at all your enemies. They love you the most. And that is why they point things out. They nag. They stop you doing something wrong. That is the only reason. Right, children? So, why ma'am is saying all these things before this poem? You know why? Because Amanda was a young child. This girl was usually rather continuously nagged by her parents. She felt that she was deprived of her freedom. And I tell you, children, she was so depressed of this nagging, the continuous nagging, that the child went to that limit when she says that hope I would have been an orphan. She went to that limit that she craved that it would have been better for him if she would have been alone in this world. Can you imagine, children? The constant nagging, the constant pressure had pushed her into that part. She wished that she would be a mermaid and she would be all alone drifting in the water. So these are the stories. These are the stories of Amanda, which we are going to see in this. We are going to read in this poem. So children, are you ready? Will you all come with me? Yes, I'll be sharing the PDF and PPT, and I would request you to join me. If you are having your mobile phones for as a tool, please transfer it to the full screen mode. Now, Poetry Amanda by Robin Clean. Right? Now, about the poet. You can see the photograph of the poet, children. Can you see it on the screen? Yes. Robin McMclean is an Australian author of books for children. She writes children's and young adult fiction. Some of her famous books are Hitting Alison Ashley, People Might Hear You, etc. These are the books of Robin Clean. Now, introduction to the lesson or the poem. This is not the lesson, it's a poem. Robin Clean has expressed the views of a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly pointed out by her mother for making mistakes. Mistakes which she considers so as they are not the part of the code of good conduct laid out by the society in which we live. Right? Now the poem and the explanation. Now children, now there's a picture. Can you see there's a mermaid? Right? Now children, I would be starting with the stanza 1 and 2. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders. Amanda, stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So, are you remember this snapping dialects? Yes, don't sit beside the window. Don't look out of the window. Don't sit at the corners. Come at the front bench. Remember? Don't bite your nails, Amanda. This is the parents. Don't hunch your shoulders. Amanda, stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Right? And now here is Amanda saying, there is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Now the new words, hunch means bend. Hunch means bend. Slouching, sitting in a lazy way. Slouching means sitting in a lazy way. Languid means relaxed. Languid means relaxed. Emerald, here green in color. The sea water is green in color. So it is compared to the green precious stone emerald. Right? The sea is compared to the emerald. So emerald is a green colored precious stone. Inhabitant, resident, drifting, carried slowly by the water. blissfully, happily. The poet is describing Amanda, a little girl who is always pointed out by her mother. Now, see, a mother is always pointing out at her. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders. Means you should not, don't bend your shoulders. Stop slouching and sit up straight. Means stop sitting like a lazy. Sit up straight. Right? So these are the instructions coming from the mother, right? The poet is describing Amanda, a little girl who is always pointed out by her mother for her mistakes and how she imagines her life to be. The poet says that the mother is pointing out Amanda for biting nails, which is a bad habit. Yes, it is. Next, she asks her to sit up straight without bending her shoulders. Amanda, who has habit of bending her shoulders and sit lazily, is being pointed out because her mother wants her to sit in the right posture. At this point of time, when she is bending, scolded by her mother, she imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. Now, again, I'm going back to the slide. Sorry. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me. Who is this? Amanda, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Now, when the mother is shouting at her, she's least bothered. She's basking in her imaginations, imaginative world, as you people also do. When I look in your eyes, I can understand. When I see, don't sit beside the window or don't sit at the corner, come at the front. When I look into your eyes, I understand. बच्चा सुन ही नहीं रहा है मेरी बात. In the same way, here, usually the children, they do it. When somebody is scolding, what they do? They leave the world and they go busking into the world of imagination where they enjoy. Right. So, there is a languid emerald sea. Now, what is she is imagining of? She's imagining of she's relaxing in a green colored sea, and where she is drifting and with a mermaid. It's me, a mermaid. Being a mermaid, she is drifting into the water. In the water, and there is no one else who is accompanying her in her relaxed journey. She's all alone drifting in the sea as a mermaid. Right. So what did I lazily point it out? Amanda, she imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. She means Amanda, right? She says that she wants to be the only resident of this beautiful green sea. She imagines herself like a mermaid who is alone there and leads her life in a very relaxing way. She says that she wants to be carried away by the current of the water and feel the relaxing environment there. Right? Now, what are the literary devices used? Anaphora. Repeated use of word at the start of two or more lines. Children, by now you have learned that literary devices. Yes or no? Anna? When I say anaphora, you would be able to know what is anaphora. I think. Yes or no? Please write in the chat box. Let me check. How many of you learned it? What is assonance? What is metaphor? Repetition? Please write it. Let me check. Anaphora means repeated use of a word at start of 2 or more lines. Like don't bite, don't hunch, don't is repeating here. Now assonance, use of vowel O. Use of vowel O. Don't. Hunch, your. O is there. Shoulders, O. Now rhyme. What is the rhyme? How to detect the rhyme? You will be going at the end of the sentence of the poem and you would see what is the rhyming scheme, isn't it? A C C C. A, Amanda, straight. Just see, these are the last words of the sentences. Amanda, straight. Amanda, A. Straight is B. Then again, Amanda, it's A. Then C. Me blissfully. Right? Now, metaphor. Use of word bliss. The use of word emerald sea. I told you what is a metaphor? When you compare with an underlying meaning, isn't it? That is metaphor. So when the sea was compared with the precious green stone, it is metaphor. Use of the word emerald sea for green color of sea being similar to the color of emerald, which is a precious stone. Repetition. Use of word Amanda. Use of word Amanda again. Now imaginary, drifting blissfully. Now this is an imagination, isn't it? That she is drifting blissfully in the emerald sea. So it is imaginary. Alliteration. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. S. Repetition of consonant sound is alliteration. Then allusion. Mermaid is a well-known imaginary creature. Mermaid, allusion. Mermaid is a well-known imaginary creature. Now stanza 3rd and 4th, you can see Amanda here. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So, the first paragraph, we can see the mother is snapping Amanda with her instructions. Did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your room? Did you clean your shoes? But Amanda was so perturbed for being deprived of the freedom, was so perturbed with the constant nagging of her parent. She was so disturbed. She felt hopeless. Now, we should not force the child to move at this section, children, when the child becomes hopeless. But at times we don't understand, but we should not do it. The child says that she wished that she would have been an orphan and alone she would have roamed in the street, and she would walk on the streets barefooted, making different patterns on the soil which the streets would be covered with. Right. New words: orphan, a child whose parents are dead. Hushed, quiet and still place. Here the poet says that Amanda's mother is inquiring her about whether she has done her homework or not. And then she asks her whether she has cleaned her room or not. Moreover, she is not reminded to clean her shoes. So here we can see that the mother is constantly asking her questions regarding her homework being done or not, or whether she had cleaned up her room and shoes or not. But on the other hand, while Amanda is listening to her mother's instruction, she imagines herself to be an orphan who is roaming in the streets. This means that she imagines if she would have been without parents. So sad. She would have been walked freely in the streets. She would have drawn designs on the soft dust with her uncovered feet very quietly. Understood, children? So I won't proceed much because I think I don't have much time left. Please, children, go through the paragraphs which I have taught you today. I'm ending up the class here, right? I'm ending up your class here because I won't proceed it. I am having time. Why should I rush with your syllabus, right? So I want you what? To go through the paragraphs, the stanzas, whatever I have taught you, the explanation I have done. More I'll be doing. I'll be continuing in the next class. Till then, what is your homework, children? You will be going thorough with the lines in the poem, right? And what you are going to do, you would, if you are not able to understand, you would clear your doubts tomorrow in the class. Again I'll repeat, again I'll teach you, right? So please follow the instructions. We have to bring good marks, isn't it? So follow the instructions and give a good reading of your poem. So till then, be good, and our promise, our commitment, do you remember? We have to give your parents 95% marks. If your aim is 95%, you will get 90. If your aim is 98%, which is not at all difficult, and you will get 95. So it's not at all difficult to touch 98 also. So you have promised me our commitments already we have done, and I want to see your promise. You are saying me, yes ma'am, we promise you in my chat box. And sure we are going to get 95 plus in English. Right? So be good children. Goodbye.